It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the morning edition for Wednesday, the 14th of December. I'm James Spann. Much colder air blows in here tomorrow, another Arctic blast. Then for the weekend, much warmer. And it's going to be a very interesting weekend. We could see a few severe storms somewhere in the state, and there could be a wintry mix of freezing rain and sleet somewhere in the state, possibly going on at the same time. Must be December in Alabama, so a lot of things going on here. So let's take a look. It's a very cold look over North America this morning. Big vortex over Canada sending down another surge of very cold air we'll feel tomorrow. Now, it's cool this morning. Cullman 39, Birmingham 46. The high today will be in the 50s. You work your way to the north. You've got 37 at Nashville, 18 at St. Louis, and you keep going, and it's below zero on the Canadian border, back in the core of the cold air. And again, the coldest day for us will likely be tomorrow into Friday morning with this new air mass. Up north, a lot of winter storm watches and warnings from the Dakotas over to Oregon. Down this way, some dense fog advisories in extreme South Alabama, off to the eastern parts of Georgia, but nothing going on around here. The fog not as bad here as it was yesterday. Now, convectively speaking, this is the severe weather outlook on day 4, which is Saturday. And the guys at SPC have defined a severe weather risk from near Houston to Muscle Shoals. And you can see that risk in Alabama includes the Shoals, Hamilton, Haleyville, Jasper, Tuscaloosa, Livingston, Demopolis. And we'll talk about that as we go, but this is one of the two possible issues for the weekend. But again, on the positive side here, the rains look pretty good. This is the rain for the next 7 days. For the northern part of the state, rain amounts around 2 inches with 1 inch down to the south. And again, for a parched state, we will take that. But let's go in here and talk our way through all this active weather. This is today, 12 noon, off the 06C GFS. Contours at 500 millibars. Remarkably deep vortex around Hudson Bay in Canada, and very cold up north, but the Arctic front not here yet. For us, we think the sky becomes partly sunny this afternoon after clouds this morning, and the high in the mid-50s, a little below average. But tomorrow will be noticeably colder. The wind picks up out of the north. The sky will be sunny. The high will be in the low to mid-40s. The GFS showing 43, the NAM showing 45. But again, the sun will be out, which will take a little bit of the edge off. And then by Friday morning, we go way below freezing. Both the NAM and the GFS are showing 24 at Birmingham. Still a breeze. It's not a good morning for radiational cooling, but some of the colder pockets could see lows around 20. And then during the day Friday, partly to mostly sunny with mid-50s. Saturday, the Gulf of Mexico opens up. We'll have developing rain showers. A sub-1,000 millibar low is just east of Indianapolis. And again, it's not going to rain all day, but it's going to be mild and breezy and showery. This is Saturday night with the Arctic front, another Arctic front approaching. And this is where we could see some strong storms involved in that zone from Houston up to Muscle Shoals. And then we go to Sunday at midday, and you can see the cold air moving in, and that's going to be a nightmare for forecasting temperatures, as the numbers are going to be falling all day, and you can see that potential for a wintry mix up north. But let's talk about the thunderstorm potential first. This is the instability Sunday morning at 6 o'clock. And unstable air extends as far north as Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden. Again, with the approach of a front, surface boundary very sharp, there could be some strong storms in there. And again, we're going to have to watch that period Saturday night into Sunday morning for storms with maybe some hail, strong gusty winds, and really an isolated tornado can't totally be ruled out, not a classic setup. But look at the dew point gradient. That's pretty remarkable. And again, you can clearly see the Arctic front, dew points are in the 60s. This is crazy. You wake up early Sunday morning at 6 o'clock, the dew point at Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden up in the middle 60s. But that is a very sharp gradient. You go to Cullman, the dew point's 41. But again, that pretty much represents the northernmost boundary of any severe weather threat in the state, those higher dew points early Sunday morning. And the other thing, the precipitable water values are very high. they are approaching 2 inches. So there could be some pretty good rain with this thing, and that's a good thing. So that's issue number one. I'd say the window for severe storms, maybe from 10 o'clock Saturday night until 10 o'clock Sunday morning. We'll open up that window. The higher probability of severe storms on the western side of the state, west of I-65. And we'll be able to fine-tune that as we get closer to the weekend. Now, the other issue, the possibility of a wintry mix coming in here. Let me just go right to the thermal gradient. This is midday Sunday. You talk about a forecasting nightmare. If the GFS verifies at midday Sunday, Montgomery, 74, Troy at 77. They'll be in flip-flops. Birmingham is at 41, and the Shoals is at 31. I mean, that's almost a 50-degree swing from Dothan to the Shoals. And the front's going to keep on marching south, so where it's mild, temperatures will start to fall. But again, it's going to be a morning where you might wake up Sunday morning and it's balmy and well up in the 60s. The dew points are in the 60s. And when you come out of church, it's going to be very cold. So just be aware it's going to be a day where temperatures go the wrong way. The GFS is suggesting that we could very well have a changeover to freezing rain or sleet. And understand, this is not going to be a snow setup here. Just off the ground, temperatures are way too warm for that. But you can see this is Sunday morning or Sunday at midday. The chance of some freezing rain or sleet over northwest Alabama. Then Sunday at 6 o'clock, the GFS is suggesting a chance of freezing rain or sleet again for about the northern third of the state. A couple of points. Number one, I think that this will, if it happens, and that's a big if, it's going to be a very brief time where you see this, which means that if this happens, there should be little, if any, impact. And that's what we're forecasting now. And of course, look, this is subject to change. We all know that. But here's the other thing that we are watching with great interest. It's the European. This is midday Sunday. That kind of curvy blue line you see over northwest Alabama, that's the freezing line, 32 Fahrenheit. And the precipitation really moves out as that freezing line moves in. In other words, the European is saying it's just going to rain, the rain's going to end, and it's going to turn much colder, and there's going to be no real changeover to a wintry mix. And the European tends to be a little more reliable at this, 114 hours out. So we'll mention the chance of some freezing rain or sleet on the backside of this, but at this point, if it happens at all, we expect little, if any, significant impact. And then this is midnight, Sunday night, 12 a.m. Monday, and it's all gone. So we'll be on the dual watch Saturday night and Sunday for some freezing rain or sleet in the cold air and severe storms in the warm air. That's always fun. Variety is the spice of life. Let's go to Monday. That looks cold and dry, if this verifies, with the rain opportunities limited to far south Alabama. Tuesday, the GFS wants to bring the moisture back up toward Interstate 20, but still, this is suggesting the better chance of any rain will be over the southern half of the state. And this is a week from today, Wednesday the 21st. You can see the upper looks a little different here. Heights are coming up. There's a trough over Texas, and this is suggesting a new storm forms west of the state. And then this is Thursday of next week, the 22nd, and a surface low is near Chicago. And if this is right, that could be another setup for strong storms Thursday of next week. Just something to watch. And this is the end of the forecast period. Friday of next week, the 23rd, troughing moving through here and the rain moving out. So next week looks kind of cool and wet and maybe stormy out there Thursday or Thursday night. We'll see. But again, we'll sure take that rain. And just for the fun of it, Christmas Day at this point on the GFS looks cool and dry. But we check the precipitation coming off the European for the next 10 days. That looks pretty good. This is suggesting about 3 inches of rain for Birmingham, 4 for Gadsden, 5.5 for Huntsville. And the numbers, ups and downs. You can see the spike down tomorrow. In fact, the GFS ensemble is showing a high of only 40 tomorrow. And then for the weekend, we warm up. We'll be close to 70 on Saturday. And, of course, that Sunday, that's 67. That's going to come, during the early morning hours with falling temperatures. And More cold air Monday, and again after that, looking rather seasonal for Christmas with highs in the 50s. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes in the blog. The next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you can't catch us this evening on the live stream or the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.